Hey guys, post-commentary Nubkeks here, just sticking on a little intro to this video to let you know where it came from and how you can get involved. As probably a good few of you know, I'm streaming on the Zola Esports Academy channel at the moment on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, all starting at 6 p.m. Central European Time, CET. And this is from the Thursday stream where we do viewer replay analysis, and you're about to see one of the games that was submitted. So how can you get involved in all of this? Well, I think there's actually a link on the bottom left hand side of the screen, or not a link but an info thingy. But yeah, you can send replays to my email address. It's nubkeksmail@gmail.com, and basically you won't be guaranteed to get a spot, but we will do a sort of a raffle thing on the stream. Preference would be given to, of course, people who are actually there in the stream, to people who are subscribed to the Zola channel, or to people who are like regular watches of the Zola live streams, that sort of thing. But it will be for the most part a raffle. But yeah, you can send your replays to the email address there, and you could be chosen on stream to be one of the people who gets their games viewed and get some feedback and some tips on them. Yeah, I'd say if you are submitting replays that way, by the way, like stick it in the title. Let me know in the title of the email, the subject of the email, that this is for the Thursday stream for Zola Esports Academy. Let me know what your Twitch username is. Let me know what the name of your hero in the game is, if it's different as well, or it's different from your email name. Let me know what division you're playing in. And then you can stick in like a couple of questions or stuff, like kind of rough things you want me to look at. Like common questions would be, oh, am I using my abilities correctly? Should I rotate more around the map? Or very common would be like, I felt like we were getting run over in this game. What could I have done differently? How could I have helped my team to do the right thing, the wrong thing? That sort of stuff. But yeah, you can feel free to, kind of submit in that sense. As well, if you want like a guaranteed replay analysis done, you can do so through my Twitch channel as well. There's a donations thing there, so you can get in contact with me via email and get basically guaranteed that your game will be looked at, and it would be done in an offline setting, and then I'd make a video of it. So it'd be a bit of a longer video, a bit more in depth and stuff. It'd be somewhat like this one actually, without the Twitch chat interaction. And then I expect from kind of the next week on, like this first week on Zola, it was we only had a couple of replays, so I was able to really take my time. In the future, it'll still be much like this, but probably not in as much detail. We'll try to get through it a little bit quicker, and try to get to as many people as possible, so that we don't have. Basically, well, it depends on how many emails come in, but I expect quite a few. Anyway, long old intro. I hope you guys enjoy the replay analysis here and pick up some tips as well. All right, cool. I hope to see you on the live streams as well. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Anyway, while we're waiting to figure out who is who, let's take a look at the team comps. So, they're actually pretty decent compositions for both sides here. It's actually a pretty decent draft. You're the Johanna. Cool. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at Johanna. So I like the Johanna pick on this map. This is one of her best maps because you have the strong wave clear. It's very impactful here on Tomb. You can interrupt the shrines with her shield glare, which is pretty good. That's the wrong person. This one, we can take a look at your stuff over here. And we can take a look at the talents down here when they come through. So yeah, you've got Johanna, who's great. Malf is really strong. Vala is great. And we got the Murky, which should be pretty interesting. Not exactly sure how that fits into the game quite yet. And then they've got the Valera as well. We're going to need the Murky carry. The Murky is the real thing that stands out as being weird. Like, if that was Tassadar, I'd be going like, damn, that's a great team comp. Now, the enemy team does have Tassadar with Sojun. That's pretty scary. They've got Brightwing, which would be kind of anti-Valera. Diablo is a very good tank on this map in particular. And then Kel'Thuzad. So I think both teams actually got a very good composition. Their one may be a little bit better, because I'm not sure how the Murky and Valera will work. They're more wild cards. Murky being new hero and Valera being very skill dependent. She is AFK, which is a big problem. Let's not fight mid is probably a good idea with Murky. This is fine. In fact, if we set it to your vision, we'll make it better as well. Here we go. Malf positioning is really bad. He's getting punished already. Good Iron Skin. I'd really be backing up at this point. Okay, so right there, for example, you went back in like too much. You've already said don't fight mid. Murky was nowhere nearby, and Valera was like AFK in base, like chatting or something. So like you took some unnecessary damage and had to tap the well to heal it up. You probably didn't need to tap the well either. You could have waited for Malf to heal you. But yeah, for you guys in this game, you have to play super defensive. Like, Zul'jin is just gonna kill you, right? If you try to fight him. You're gonna have to stick with your team, rely on Valeera to punish the Zul'jin. There does some damage to Kel'Thas. He's being attacked. Alright, there's another thing, right? In fact, let me throw in a quick little pause right there, right? With a shield glare, you're blinding heroes for 1.5 seconds. They're pretty much the only hero you actually want to be using this on is Zul'jin. You don't want to be using shield glare on anyone else. All of their other basic attacks are crappy, right? None of their basic attacks matter. Only Zul'jin. So you want to be using this interrupt turn-ins to scout out brushes and to interrupt Zul'jin. If you're using it on other heroes, it's a waste of a cooldown, which you might be punished for if you do it. Like, let's say, you know, Zul'jin arrives in the fight while that's still on cooldown. That's a big problem because it is a pretty long cooldown. That's a good blind there. That gets you out with the roots. Good. Alright, cool. And you're just going to waste mana doing that. Valeera going in. This might be a kill for her. Obviously a risky target to try kill. Nicely done by Valeera. Alright, good stuff. What league is this, Wilcomir? Yeah, actually, if you could let us know what league. I think you were saying Platinum? Platinum? Alright. Not too bad. Math has to Hearthstone. He might give you a heal before he goes. Apparently not. Alright, let's take a look at the talents. So we went for Reinforced level 1. I think that's a good call against the Zul'jin. It's a really good call. Valor's actually gone for Q builds, which is unusual. Alright, that's fine. Taking some damage, but he should be able to heal you up. You probably want to be taking a level 4 talent already. Pretty slow on that. Laws of Hope. So you missed out on, you know, maybe about 120 HP. Small deal, but it is still a deal. Actually, Tassadar will burn through the block stacks. That's something to be aware of as well. Alright, that's pretty well played right there. Not going too deep, helping the peel for the Valeera and then backing off. Pop Laws of Hope for a bit of healing. It's fine. Alright, cool. In Platinum? Okay. Hashtag nitpicking. I'm not really nitpicking. For the most part, like, it's been pretty good gameplay so far. The only big thing I would say was, like, maybe over-engaging at the start and then not saving the blind for Zul'jin, who's the only one that matters for the blind. Apart from that, it's all good. Alright, that's pretty nice. Teammates are down here doing good work. That's a good shield glare. Nicely done. Alright, cool. Your teammate's got a double kill in the bottom in the meantime, which is fantastic. Alright, getting a turn in is a pretty good idea as well. Your teammates are pressuring bot in the meantime. So this is a very good opportunity to pay. This could even be a very good kill opportunity. That's a really good route by the Malfurion. Good slow. Nice body blocking. Brightwing's going to arrive. Pops down his shield. Valeera unfortunately hit Brightwing. I wouldn't chase too much here. Valeera does go down. You're in quite a bit of trouble as well. Yeah. That was like Valeera hit the wrong target. Valeera hit the wrong target. And then at that point you kind of probably have to back off. It was very close though. So I'd say it's not... Yeah, it's mostly just Valeera hit the Brightwing. Again, it's understandable because Brightwing teleported in. The mouse was slightly misplaced. It happens. It's unfortunate. Your games are much more interesting because I suck. Hilarious. 24/7 Dark Angel replay streams. That sounds horrific. Alright, what level 7 talent did we go for here in this game? Blessed Momentum. Okay. I think I'm fine with that. Blind didn't hit Zul'jin there. Got yourselves a turn in. That's great. We'll see what we can make happen with this. Murky is dead. Problem with Murky in this map is he will keep losing the gems, right? This is some pretty good clearing here. Alright, team are in a little bit of trouble. That's kind of their problem though. Valeera's gonna die. They shouldn't like be extending that far forwards. So it's kind of bad for them. I like this coming in and putting some pressure on. Though again, the blind on the other heroes, not on the Zul'jin. It's good damage. And that's a fine push with the Web Weaver. The main thing that you're looking to do here... Oh god, Vala. Oh god, yeah. Vala fucked up. Vala fucked up. Vala went way too deep, right? What I was gonna say... Oh, you might... you should be fine. This is happening, right? The main thing that's happening here, because you're delaying them so much, that was really well played by you, is that, you know, this let Murky push a Web Weaver, like half-health Web Weaver, pushing up pretty much to the keep gates. It's pretty fantastic. And this one is just going ham as well, which is great. Alright, that's nice. Excellent kill. Alright, and we should get a pretty decent push up here too. So, like, the goal of going... Your goal here, again, of the team here ought to have been, and Vala should have known this, is that, like, you're undermanned. What you're just trying to do is delay them, poke them, get them low, keep pressure on them, while the Web Weavers are split pushing in the other lanes. And you're trying to maximize the value of yours as well. And it went really well until the point where the Web Weaver is, like, dying, and then Vala stayed in and got picked off. Let's see, it looks like Valeera is kind of overcommitted. We don't have enough mana for Blessed Shield. Blessed Shield right there, very nice. Good work. That's going to be a triple kill. Alright. I like it a lot. We've got a blind here, which we can use. Okay, we missed the blind. Alright, so that's a little bit of a problem. That's a pretty easy blind to land. That's like a nitpicking thing, though. Overall, that was played well. You know, keeping aware of the mana for Blessed Shield, using it. I'd say so far, like, you're playing the game very nicely. Definitely, like, the blind there was a little bit dodgy. I mean, Sojun, he's not exactly the most mobile hero. Whiff again. Which, yeah, you should definitely be trying not to whiff that. That's pretty important. It's like, because that's a very easy mechanical thing to do. It's like what you call like an unforced error. It's like you're not under any real pressure. Like, it's easy to miss a skill shot if you're being dived by like 5 heroes at once and you're about to die within 1 second. Then it's really hard to make decisions and to aim stuff correctly because you're under a ton of pressure. When it's like you're completely safe and it's a Sojun who's not moving, it should be pretty easy. Alright. At this stage, you're kind of far away from the team as well. Probably leave the Murky to deal with the bottom. And you can save the team a bit more. Let's do some poking and slowing them down. Again, I'll be backing up right here. Like, I'll be playing a little bit more defensively in some of these situations. Because bear in mind that you do have, ultimately, a 4 versus 5 right here with the Murky. And you're getting punished for it now. That's a good condemn. But this is looking fairly dodgy. Sojun misses his Q. Murky is arriving. Murky does tons of damage. Apocalypse comes out late. Malf does go down. Like, Valeera's not even here either. And the enemy team is making a lot of mistakes as well. Again, you should have backed off there. But I really do think, like, forcing a fight there 4v5 is a pretty bad idea. I'll be playing a lot more defensive. Bear in mind, like, it's okay to play defensive. If you're wasting 5 heroes' time as 4 heroes, it leaves, especially with Murky, you're leaving that Murky free to do other things around the map. So, yeah, that's something to bear in mind. And the main problem there, though, was the Malf went too far forwards. He got picked by Diablo, he got killed. That was the biggest problem. I don't think you particularly need to pay. I don't think there's any particular urgency here. You guys are massively ahead in this game so far. You just, like, keep playing it safe, keep playing it well, it's going to be fine. Like, they've got the Web Weavers right now. Alright, let's actually pause it right here. Okay? Because you're obviously a bit frustrated that they got a turn in. This is actually really good for you. This is actually really good for you. Like, this isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. They've got a turn in. It doesn't matter, right? They're just basically going to waste their coins because Sojun is dead. So you're going to have a full 5-man defense against their Web Weavers. You're going to be a talent tier up. You're going to be a person up. Sojun, who's like their biggest damage dealer, isn't even going to be there. So this is going to be a really weak Web Weaver push for them. In addition, the top lane is super pushed in. So is bottom lane. So you're going to like clear out middle really easily, then rotate and clear the other ones out. Like, I would be surprised if a fort went down. I'd even potentially be surprised if even a front gate goes down. Actually, well, this isn't great for you. If the Valeera dies, that'd be pretty bad. Luckily, things are going to be fine. Alright, again, the goal here would be mostly to clear up the Web Weavers. It's fine. But look, like, this Web Weaver's all the way over here. This one's all the way over here. Sojun's back now. But look, this one is cleared out. At this stage, I'd just be backing up. This mouth positioning continues to be horrific. He's going to walk through it for it. Oh! Oh, man. At this stage, I'd be looking to blind the team and try save him. He's going to go back in for some unforsaken reason. He's going to die. You really need to run away as well. Yeah. So you're going to die here. Like, this is one of those really awkward situations where the mouth, his positioning was so bad that it really screwed you over. But yeah, it might have overcommitted to saving the mouth a little bit, but again, it's tricky. When someone makes a misplay that big, it always gets tricky. But as you can see, the web weaver up top did nothing, bottom did nothing, the mid one did nothing either. The thing that's doing the damage was the mouth. For some reason, instead of running away, like coming back and poking at them, then running through a fort, he just really screwed up, and that was a big problem. Valeera could turn in, and that would be pretty good here, actually. Murky's going to clear these behind them. So we lost the fort. Again, that wasn't because of the web weavers. The web weaver phase went really well for you. It's pretty much the perfect enemy web weaver phase. It was effectively like they lost 50 coins, basically. The problem was this, the mouth walking this way. That was the problem. And then you did overcommit to saving him. You could have backed off and let him die a bit more easily when you realize, like, once he's walking through the fort, he's just pretty much dead. You could throw the range blind to help him out. You could throw the blessed shield if you had it, and then just leave it. Murky does die, but you guys get a kill in return. That's pretty good. Murky's going to be respawning, so this could be a decent fight for you. This could be a silence for the mouth. There we go. Good stun. Nice condemn. Vala's doing tons of damage. This should be great. There we go. It's good to turn around and put some pressure on these guys. You can tank up a lot of the Sojun damage while you're doing so. This is really nice. Good work. I would have chased him more. Murky's probably going to get it. Good work. Alright, cool. And this is looking really good for you. Valeera does need to be careful here. Yeah. Valeera's dead. I think that's a really bad idea. Like, realistically, she's not going to kill Diablo. She's just going to die and lost a bunch of gems. This is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I mean, that was a good fight. You know, with Murky died and they lost one hero, I think. Where, like, they went so low that it was a good position they could fight. So it was a good rotation from you down to help out the fight. Good commitment to the fight. So it's good stuff. Again, here, I would not be committing here. Murky's dead. Just a few gems down. I'd definitely be backing off. Did they buff Diablo? I swear. Valeera is apparently... he's got mad range lately. Valeera is somewhat baffled that she did not manage to, on about a third of her HP, solo a full health Diablo who had backup from his teammates and a keep. I don't think he's OP. I think you're just picking a bad fight. Let's check out your talent build. So we got Burning Rage and Holy Renewal. These are pretty good talents overall as well. Level 16. You do have a few different options here. I think they're all pretty good. You know, maybe like you could. I'm pretty sure Johanna can get like the the attack speed slow, which would be pretty good against Sojun, who's like the main problem for you. But this one is okay as well. I'd probably be leaning towards the other one though, because you may only hit Sojun with this and not other heroes. That's just something to note. But overall, it's pretty fine. Not a big deal really at all. This is pretty good. I think you missed the Blessed Shield there, which is a mechanical thing. And then again, looking to blind multiple members instead of blinding the important target to blind. This fight's going very well though. Where are we going here? I'm pretty sure you could have saved your teammate there. Let's actually check that again. That's kind of important. So that one misplayed that a little bit. So let's take a look. I'm just curious as to whether or not we could actually have saved Vala. Hopefully the game doesn't crash. No, here we go. It's fine. Okay. So this is happening here. Let's check that. Tateril, hello, the Nubkeks. Welcome to the stream. But welcome, I might be... Oh, shit. What's going on? There we go. We're back in the game. All right, over here. So this is good. Yeah, Blessed Shield completely misses, which is a little bit of a problem. And then you use the blind on the enemy team instead of on Sojun. Ideally catching Sojun and Tastar. At this stage, you want to keep going in super ham. I'm not sure why you're backing off here. We have a blind available. Vala could have lived. That was just like a misreading of the team fight, and actually like one that cost a teammate their life. And it's a 50-second death timer. But, like, there's no reason to back off. Like, the entire enemy team was dead. They had nothing left. You had plenty of life. You had your blind available. So you ran away. I'm not sure why when you were just, like, overrunning them. And then you didn't have the blind to save the Vala. You could have blinded Sojun, which probably would have kept her alive. So, it's a little bit of a problem. At this stage as well, I'd probably be putting more pressure on Diablo. I think you could probably kill him. Valera's going to do it, but that's just fine. You'll be putting a little more pressure right there. At this stage, I would have stayed and killed the keep as well. I think this is a bad idea to back off. Like, you could have killed the keep and then backed off. Like, ultimately, what is the Siege Giant camp going to do? It's going to hopefully kill the keep. Well, you could have just killed it yourself. It wasn't a big problem. You could have killed it yourself there. Your team was fairly healthy. Like, considering how little life is left, I think you could have got it. So, that's a small thing. I wouldn't send Valera in. Let Murky can do it anyway. But yeah, like, if Valera goes for the keep, there's a good chance that she might die. So he's going to lose 15 gems, but it's worth it to kill a keep. He's going to delay them a little bit. Just waste their time, which is fine. You guys can turn in all your gems, which is fine. You soloed this, which is okay, I guess. Murky dies. Doesn't really matter. Their keeps are very low. This is looking like a really good game for you. Alright, you got level 20 as well. Went for indestructible level 20. I think it's a pretty good idea. You can afford to play super aggressive right now as well. Going up against the enemy team, you can, like, zone them very aggressively. The boss is possible, but somewhat risky. Laying a trap there. It's very unlikely they're actually going to scout it out unless they really make a mistake. They might do so. I don't think so, but I think the boss is a pretty good idea. Like, you should burn it down pretty quick with Vala. You got level 20 to 18. And you got Murky to scout. Now, especially when they're down here, this is a really good move. And I presume this is what just ends the game. You're just going to win off the boss. And it's not really too important that Valera helps. I mean, look, by the time she gets there, it's not going to do anything. She's better off just pushing the wave, honestly. There we go, got the boss, which is lovely. Not enough gems to return in, which at this stage is just like push down this as quick as possible. I'd be probably pinging for help. The enemy team is overextended in a weird position and they're going to pay the price for it. I don't know why they were there. They really shouldn't be there. It's a really bizarre thing for them to do. He's dead as well, so this is going to be game. But yeah, I mean, like, if your team takes the boss, like this late in the game, that boss is going to win the game unless they put up a really good defense. So I don't know what they're doing out there on the map. They were out there on the map, you killed them. It's terrible positioning from them, and they pay the price. Yeah, at this stage you want to just like soak this up for your team. Run past and start, you know, bringing this boss in, basically. Alright, very nice. Vala died. The boss should win the game right here. Again, I wouldn't really bother hitting him. He's like, he really shouldn't die right there. Whereas you can do some damage to the core. Not yet, nicely done. We can check out the stats and stuff here coming into the end. We had vision there, insane with Murky. So proud of my boss call. Yeah, it was a good call to take the boss right there. It was a good call. As soon as you see them down here with Murky, it's a really good idea. If you're up level 20, that's when you really want to start pushing advantages and take the lead. It's a little bit risky to take the boss, of course. You know, they've got a Kelthus AoE damage in there, the Archon AoE damage, Apocalypse, all in here. Could be really bad. But you can certainly start off the boss. And it should be fine, you know, with Murky split pushing and creating pressure. Okay, if they come and do the boss, you can back off because you got all your structures here. It should be fine, and Murky will get probably some core damage. It's a problem for them. If they deal with Murky, you can take the boss. So it was a really good call in the end. Overall, yeah, I thought you played really well for the most part. Small things to improve upon, again. And probably the big thing that stood out to me was probably like not using the blind on Zul'jin, really, is the main thing. Like, you want to save it for Zul'jin. Hit the Tasha Archon with it as well if you can. But, like, you don't give a crap about blinding Brightwing or Kelthus. You don't really care about Diablo much either. Like, you might as well just ignore them. It's really, whenever you got a blind, you want to be focusing that blind on the specific heroes that actually matter for being blinded. Same thing as if you had like a dampened magic type thing. You could, like Chen has, reducing their spell damage. You want to focus that on the heroes that matter. I mean, it's difficult with Chen. That's a bad example, but you get the gist of it, right? That was probably the main thing. Apart from that, I thought it was really good play. You know, a couple of missed skill shots. That's just something that improves with some practice. It's pretty good shot calling, moving around. And then the other issue as well was down here. You know, when your team was overrunning their team, and then instead of like pushing in with your team, helping them do the damage and bringing the lockdown and stuff, that you kind of ran away. And then that meant that Vala died, whereas you could have saved her with a blind and then maybe some extra CC on Sojun or a bit more damage. It would have been fine. You could have stopped, you know, some of that damage coming out from Testingo and given her the chance to escape, body blocked him a little bit if needs be, because you weren't actually in any danger yourself, especially because, you know, you've got a blind, you've got the block stacked. It would have been fine. So yeah, that was one thing that could have changed as well. But on the whole, very well played. If we check out the stats in the end, I mean, we died 3 times. Yeah, for the most part, the deaths weren't really a problem. Oh, actually, then one other thing we could improve on as well was, like, at the start, a little bit too aggressive in terms of positioning at the start. That's probably the other thing, where Valeera was AFK, and, like, when you got an AFK hero, you have to be really safe about it. But yeah, apart from that, I think it was good. Regulus. I use Shield Glare as a damaging ability. That's terrible. Okay, good. I'm glad you found it helpful. It was a really good gameplay. I think you played very well. You know, Murky obviously had a fantastic game too. Vala played pretty well. Valeera had a good game too. The Malf was a bit dodgy now, I would say. Like, after watching the game, it's like your Malfurion had some, you know, this was a pretty dodgy move. He had some pretty dodgy positioning things. But, and that was, you know, you made a couple of mistakes, like saving the Malf over here. But, like, I'm not very critical of that, because it's like, Malf's positioning just sent everything to shit, so that's why that kind of went wrong, right? It's not really your fault if that happens, in a sense. Like, you can understand making that's like missing the shield glare on a Sojun who's basically dead up here. That's an unforced error. You're not under any pressure. There's really no reason to miss that. Making, you know, a bit of a dodgy decision and, you know, then just about dying because you try to save Malf over here. That's a bit of a forced error, because Malfurion has made a mistake that's so bad that it's like, it takes a lot of brain power to process it. You have to do it very quickly. If you make a bad decision, it's okay. Everyone makes bad decisions and mistakes. When the situation is that crazy and crappy, that's what happens. But yeah, overall, I think really well played. So fair play and well done. Yeah, Malf was 2 of your deaths. Yeah, I think he was all right. The Malf, there was some questionable positioning from the Malf, to say the least. There was some questionable positioning.